Welcome back everybody to another video in this series where we are creating a web designer / developer portfolio website. Last time we finished on the CTA section here, or the footer of the work page. Today we're going to be continuing through the design of the wireframe, and we're going to be creating the CTA or call to action page, which mainly comprises of form, just a basic form, okay? Also some navigation, but that's like constant in every page, so we don't really have to think about that much. So we can just duplicate this and we can remove everything here. So like this is the same layout that we want. Instead though, we want the about not to be active, rather we want the contact to be active. So this will be very simple. Obviously in the final design we're going to be having more accents and stuff, but here this will be just a basic form. So let's start. I want a header. Obviously we've been having so much headers here, but we can just copy it from somewhere over here. Like for example, this header works perfectly. I want to copy it and bring it here. Let's just enable our grid lines. Obviously here we have some grid lines. So we don't really have those grid lines in this page, so I'm just going to duplicate this one, and I'm just going to copy this, Ctrl+Shift+R here to replace it. Center and align it here. Also I want to go here and remove this image. Also I want to go here and I want to give it the color of white here. Okay, so we can just now cut this out and paste it here. Okay, so this we can just Ctrl+Shift+R here to paste and replace. So let's just change up the name here. This is the CTA page of the website. Now, one thing to note, let's put this here. One thing to note here is that we want to keep our type very minimal, because people on the CTA page don't really want to read much. They're already probably convinced. So if they are actually signing up or putting in their information inside a form, they are most probably convinced of you and they want to work with you. So you want to keep the text to minimum, but you want to just be decisive with your text and just give some bit of context here. Let's get you a website, or I want to offer more than a website. Let's say, let's get you a digital experience. If I'm not mistaken on the spelling here. Also, I don't want it to be this big since it's not as crucial as it was. So this big I think works very nice. We can now say just some instructions, maybe fill out the form below and you will be notified. I can't really spell today for some reason. You will be notified through the email you provide. When a spot clears up. Actually, instead of saying this, we could say you'll be notified through the email you provide. The email you provide as soon as possible. Thanks for. Instead of thanks, we could say glad to be working with you. Can't wait to be working with you. Excited to be working with you. Also, we might, there is a bit more of space here, so maybe something like this, or reduce the space even, something like this here. Okay, so it's not as big as that because basically it doesn't have as much precedence and as much visual hierarchy here. We don't want it to be too big in this case because it doesn't matter. We have already signed the user, we have already converted the user if the user is here at the call to action page. Now we have to just provide some basic form. What do I want? First of all, full name or company name, email, and message. Very simple, right? So full name, let's make this a bit bigger, around 18. Full name, then we would have a line here. Okay, the way I want to do this is I want to make this into an auto layout, zero gap and zero padding at the sides, well, zero padding everywhere actually except the bottom where we would have like 32. Then we would have something like this here. We'll make it longer, and this will be the full name input field, and would have let's see, we would have a stroke only at the bottom. Now we are left with this sort of layout here. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to duplicate this, and I want to put this top to bottom like this. So this will be the label, and this will be the placeholder. Full name Ebenezer, for example, Daniel, and we want to make sure that this is obvious that it is a placeholder. So gray 300 doesn't work in this case actually, and also gray 800 doesn't work, so we need an in-between color. But for now I'm just going to put it like gray 300 because this is the wireframe, as you know, and as long as there is a bit of difference here, I'm sure we could figure it out in the production part here in the design. So here I'm gonna go around 8. So this is the final. Okay, this is the final one. Obviously, we are gonna reduce the size here to make it smaller. Okay. Then also maybe 32 is a bit too much. Okay, full name. Now we can duplicate this. We can say that this is the email, and we can actually put our own email here. So we can say Ebenezer Daniel147@gmail.com. What this will do is, even in case they can't really submit the form or something, maybe they would realize that this is my information, and they would contact me through this. Okay. Obviously, my email is already going to be on the website freely for anybody to see, so I don't think I'm doxing myself or anything, so no problem there. Then the message, right? So the message. The message, like what placeholder can it have? Maybe what you're looking for in a designer / developer. Instead you can say, what are you? And I think in the message part we can make this a bit bigger, 48 maybe. Okay, not that way. Yeah, I think we can make it this something like this, and this would be, it would just work as if it has more room, because basically we need more room for it to for someone to be able to write a long message, because messages aren't probably going to be short text, they're probably going to be a bit longer. So yeah, around 96 even. And I would want to check out the previous website that we have been drawing inspiration from. It was Dennis Snellberg here. Let me just close this off. Yeah, if I click get in touch, let's see how he did the contact page. Yeah, pretty much the same way, I'd say. Obviously his looks much nicer. That's basically because we're still at the wireframing stage of the work here, so there won't really be much competition there. This will be, should be called email address, you can say. And message here, let's actually here. Message. Now, I'm seeing that he has some additional information here, which is nice to have, but I prefer working remotely, so most of these elements really probably won't apply. Now the contact information here with phone number and email, I think that works very nicely into this. So I would like to have that as well. Now, obviously, I have other sources of contacting me here, basically. So what I want to do is I want to have my phone number, and I want to have my email address, right? So let's group these into form elements, form, then around 32 or 23. Okay. Okay. Then that would work as an extension of this form, but I think it would work to be a bit confusing. I'm not sure how people would assume that works. So this is actually pretty difficult to decide on how it should be. Okay, let's start from the easiest part. I would want to have a submit button here. Submit. Very simple. Yeah, basically a submit button. Then we could have it here, then have the additional information here actually. So maybe we can actually do this 32 by 32. Let's go hack content. Okay, something like this. Then we could actually give it a fill here of the gray 800. Now this won't obviously be the final sort of background color, it's just a placeholder, obviously. Then we would want to have some email and stuff like that. So we could give the user two options. Let's call this info, and let's say like 32 or 24 gap. Let's go 32. Then let's center this, and I want to center it like this between these elements. Now we could give them both titles. We could say, for example, let's duplicate this and bring it inside here. And actually I want to put it, let's call this contact, or we can actually call it the main here. We can take this and put it inside of the first form. Contact me, let's say. Then we would want to decrease the size of this. Or is 48 fine actually? if we first, let's make this hot content. I think that's fine. So if we can duplicate this, delete this, center it, we can say my info. Then we can remove the submit button, considering there won't be anything to submit. Align it to the top, and yeah, full name, yeah, basic information that we asked from the user. Here we could actually supply it ourselves, and just change up the gray to black to make it obvious that this is not a form. Here then email address, then phone number. Yeah, phone number, I don't really want to give out a phone number, basically because I've like I'm gonna be working more remotely, so an email address would work much better. So instead I want to give up my X handle, which is, I always seem to forget. We can actually just go ahead and check my X here. If we go here, I leave here on the profile. We have, where's this? So it is at this, right? So this, we can actually copy it from here. So X or Twitter, we can actually mainly call it Twitter or X here. If they want my YouTube also, we could do that, but I think for contact purposes X would be much easier. Okay, so obviously at the final product we would need some separation between these two. Currently they look pretty much the same, so I think the best way to do this would be to give this a black color and to make everything else here white. Yeah, obviously in the final design this won't be full black and this won't be full gray. We would be changing them up, but for now I think that's completely fine. So this will be the form, this will be the info. Okay, yeah, this is, if we just remove the grid lines, this will be the page to contact, or the call to action final page here. I think with that we are actually done. That was everything, not everything, but every unresponsive page of the wireframe. Next up, we're going to be working on, since we actually finished every single page here and section, you can see the final product here. We would be working on the mobile version. Then after the mobile version, we're actually going to be switching into the actual design, then the accent, then the animation, then development, then deployment. Hopefully you are enjoying the series. Thanks for the support so far. It's been incredible. Like the course, the full 4-hour UI UX design course has been getting so much love, and people have been enjoying it. So thanks for the support, everything. So obviously you could tell me anything about the series in the comment down below. Again, yeah, thanks for watching. Not much more to say. Until next time, goodbye.